Yay!
And there is simultaneous casting, as expected. And we activate the special button there. And we activate the special button there. And we save it. And we open the YouTube chat. And we are live. Phantasmagorical. Phantasmagonical. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the start of Shift 11. This is the 11th 2-hour shift of our 24-hour live stream. We are one shift. We are this shift and the next one away from completion. We have raised a grand total of $439 for the San Francisco LGBT Center, which is amazing. I thank you guys all so much. And hopefully in the next 4 hours, we can make a little more out of that. So right now I am joined by Sama, Gavir, and I think it was it Gavir or Uranium Empire who were dropping? I think it was Uranium, right?
Uranium dropped.
Okay, so Gavir is here with us. Sama's here with us. The video is live. The charity link is in the description and in the chat as people file back in for the second to last shift of this crazy ass adventure. And Sama is going to open us up with some sad feels.
Yeah, I love sad feels. Also, my gods are out in TBC, so after this, unless you have another thing you want me to read specifically, I will bounce. But I can read something else specifically if needed.
Got some work to do. I hear you.
Also, still open to letters, to juggling stuff if anyone wants to donate money.
Ha.
I have a cursed baby doll.
$10 with the name Sama Juggles, and then Sama Juggles.
Juggle. I don't juggle well, but I juggle. I juggle random crap. Like my wait. Where's Janet? Everyone has told me I've fallen to this cursed baby doll, but she's precious and not cursed at all.
That's wrong. That's going to be an SCP before the end of the night.
She's my precious baby.
Someone's going to screen cap that and write it. This is what you have wrought.
Yes. I bought her for a prop for vampire roleplay last year. And she still just lives in my studio with me. She has a pet that's slightly more terrifying. Ooh, I didn't realize I left on.
What? Why? That's not... Why? Why are you doing this? Because it's the creepy Halloween stream. I get it. That makes sense.
Sometimes she sings, and I don't know what triggers it because she's not supposed to sing unless you have 2 of them. And I only own 1.
That's the ghost, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, someone decided to merge a Furby with a slap band. And I see nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Better stand fucking by.
There we go.
I feel inspired today. Oh yeah, I hit anonymous by accident. Crap.
Oh no.
I donated $11 because I saw it was on a 9 and I wanted to even it out while donating 10. So now it's up to 440 and it's supposed to have the comment Sama Juggles.
Oh no, we can't read letters yet because now we have Sama Juggles. Cthulhu, a creepy baby doll, And
I'm trying to decide. I need something that's like in between these two weights because they are opposite weights. Cthulhu is very heavy.
This is the exact kind of terrifying thing you would expect to see on Halloween, so we're here for it.
This is always a pain in the ass to juggle. Yeah, this seems fine. This seems fine. Come here, mask. Nope, the mask decided to strangle Janet. Mask is going away because it hurt Janet.
Good mask. Good mask.
No, bad mask.
Oh, and after you anonymously donated for Sam of the Joe, someone else also donated, and so we are now up to 460 in the money. And I'm gonna flash the flag. Woo, flash the flag! Yay! Donating things.
All right, so I'm also gonna juggle the Voynich manuscript.
Son of a! Why do you have it?
Don't ask questions.
What?
Sama, no!
I have the Voynich manuscript and the script for The King in Yellow.
I feel like the kind of disgust that came from him is the same kind of disgust you'd expect someone saying to a conservative Christian, I got a copy of the Necronomicon the other day.
The Voynich manuscript is totally harmless and innocent. I don't know what you're talking about.
That does not sound honest, harmless, and innocent. We have a newcomer.
Hello.
Hello, Katie.
I really want to see her juggle this.
Where did the Voynich manuscript go? No.
Target, like the babies.
First juggle did not go well. We're going to try starting with Cthulhu and the baby in the same hand.
Cthulhu is also haunted.
Everything about this is haunted.
This is the kind of shit I do on my stream all the time.
Perfect.
Uranium with the perfect sass. Uranium with the perfect sass. Hey, I'm going to juggle the Rosetta Stone. Hey, I'm going to plant on the Ark of the Covenant. That is high quality weapons grade sass. Thank you.
I can't get more than one rotation with the book. We're gonna go to an empty can of booze or empty bottle of booze. I'm just going to commit. I'm just going to abuse this baby.
You heard it on the Site-42 24-hour charity live stream.
Since we're recording, I'd like to have it on record that I'm not liable for damages to your office and or your floor as a result of breaking the bottle or Cthulhu.
It's fine. Cthulhu just hit the microphone. My microphone's been hit with worse.
A valiant effort. A valiant juggle.
I got one rotation. It's good enough for me. All right, now that I'm all silly, let's read depressing stuff.
You know, I mean, drama and comedy are like one hair away from each other, right?
I'm going to try to grab a different parking spot. I'll do that.
Good luck.
The difference between the Shakespearean difference between tragedy and comedy is context.
I will be gone for a moment. You read the heck out of those letters. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Letters to my future self. Addendum redacted. Point 1. On April 30th, 2014, a series of notes written on paper scraps were recovered from POI-Redacted's temporary holding cell. An excerpt of said notes is included below. Her name is Julie Martins. She is taller than me, definitely. She has brown hair and gray eyes. She likes talking about books and animals. I hope I won't need this soon, but it's necessary. I need to write about our history. Remember that. I met Julie in a cafe pub. I can't even remember what I was doing there at the time. She came to me with 2 hot drinks and said that I was the prettiest girl she ever saw. She told me that she wouldn't sleep at night without trying to talk to me. I thought she was a creep. But her smile was so nice and charming, I couldn't help but talk to her. We traded our phone numbers and I left. She called me half an hour later. I answered. After that, we wouldn't stop talking. We always met up every day at exactly 10 p.m. in the same cafe pub we met. She told me she was alone and didn't really have many friends. She always talked about how she was glad to finally have someone to talk to. Our first kiss was at a nightclub she invited me for. We started dating the day after. These were the best days of my life. A year later, not much time after, she proposed to me. I said yes. She told me a few weeks after we were married. Told me to sit down with a worried look in her face. Said that ever since she was 9, she could move and make things at her will. She made a plate of fly in front of my eyes, and 1 second later, it was a pair of bowls. She asked me what I thought of her now, if I thought she was a demon or a monster or a liar. I told her no. I understood. I said that I love her for what she is, and nothing would break what we had, not even this. I only asked her one thing, to never tell anyone besides me. She promised, and we moved on. I began to notice people in tall buildings looking at our house. When I came to investigate, they simply vanished. I began to notice objects that weren't in the same position they were the day before. Signals and stains we didn't remember making. I remember seeing more cops and parked cars next to us than usual. I started noticing more mean-looking people staring our way. It felt like the whole world was looking at us, spying every little thing we did. I promised her that our lives would still be as normal as before, but I grew worried every day. I started having nightmares. I thought of shady government agents taking her from me forever. I started seeing them in real life, always on the lookout, making notes about us as we left houses and restaurants. I started taking some heavy medicine. My memory and my mental state worsened each day. I cried myself to sleep many times. I couldn't remember anything except Julie and our life together. She began talking about having a kid. I told her no, never said why. I couldn't live in fear that my children's mother could simply not show up after work at any time and any day. Eventually, she didn't mention it anymore, but we ghosted each other for weeks, a long time. She never believed me, never believed in shady agents ready to ruin our lives in a fateful day. She told me that what she had was random. God was looking at another side when I was born. She said that our world was completely normal, except for her. To stop worrying so much. She called me paranoid and crazy multiple times. We started fighting more and more, and our relationship worsened each day. We still tried saving it. Then, the day came. She told me she had lost her job and we couldn't live like that forever. She told me it was just one time she would use it to help us financially. She said she wouldn't hurt anyone, that the bank had money to spare and no one would notice. I told her no, that they would notice and they would take her from me. We fought and she left the house. She came back a few hours later with a huge grin on her face, holding thousands of dollars in a small jacket. "See," she said, "I told you, it's too easy. No one's coming for us." I was relieved, but I wasn't sure. We heard a crack in the door. Dozens of men holding dozens of firearms came out from it, screaming about turning ourselves in. We hid in a closet. She said she couldn't hurt anyone. She was crying, and she said there was something she needed to tell me. Then I felt light on my face. I saw a man looking at us. My neck hurt. I fell down. I woke up in this cell, without her. Every day they take me to a cold metallic room full of round black logos and paper notes. They give me several injections, and they take me back. They're trying to make me forget her. I know, it's the same medicine I used, or something similar. I didn't forget. By God's miracle, I didn't forget. Or maybe their doses are too weak. Or maybe I'm used to it. I won't last forever. My memory is worsening. One day I'll need to read this, and I want to make sure you remember. I want to make sure you remember everything. Note, the following note was found inside a mattress, severely crumpled. She hasn't come for me yet. Has she forgotten about me? Or could it be she already created herself another woman? Ta-da!
Sad.
Sad. My light fell on me during that.
These tears are real. I'm method.
I can't cry with contacts. It's really annoying.
Is that a Scooby-Doo onesie?
It is, yes. I'm wearing it to my show tonight.
Oh, guys, by
Fun.
the way, this is Katie. This is who's been behind the cameras this entire time in my living room. She's been here all day.
Yeah.
Oh.
This
All
is the
night and all
person you
day.
didn't see.
And now I'm going to go do a Rocky Horror Show. Sold out for Halloween.
Oh.
I have to drive home after that. Sherman gets to crash after this. I have to drive home.
Well, that's why you have a
Oh.
monster, and at the same time, Sherman is drinking a monster.
There
Double
are-
monsters.
Yeah, the night started with a lot of monsters in the fridge. I was
And now there's
chastising him
less.
for having his third one at 7 a.m. Pretty sure he might explode at this point.
That's
Radio.
fair.
There's some form of radioactive.
All right. So,
By the way, I am running security tonight for the show in this onesie. That's what I'm doing tonight before I do Trixie. That's my
Nice.
main job. I'm also doing Trixie in this Scooby-Doo outfit, but mainly I'm running security looking like this.
I mean, I can't imagine with all the costumes in Rocky Horror Picture Show. I can't imagine you being out of place in a Scooby-Doo onesie.
No, not at all. No.
I've never seen one. I've only seen promotional material for it, and I've heard horror stories about the first time you go to a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Don't try to follow the plot.
Well, don't admit you're the quote virgin unquote.
Oh no, that's the funnest part.
That's the fun part. Meet new friends,
I
up close and
somehow-
personal.
Still haven't seen a Shadowcast for Rocky. I've just done Shadowcast for literally everything else.
This is
literally
something
everything.
I counted today, and this is something like my 230th show.
Nice.
No, I'm so tired.
Hey, everyone in the Get
So
Vocal
much
chat,
fun.
1 second. Because this room was made secondarily, there's supposed to be a donation button on the bottom of the chat. It is not here because I broke the room earlier. If you refresh your chat, it will appear. I can also post a link so that you can do that as well. So let me know what you feel like doing if you want to donate things. Sound good? Sound good. Now, where are we? Yes, you should make friends. Up close and personal. And then you should go, and then Katie's going to go Great Dane on people and bounce them in a Scooby-Doo onesie.
So
Perfect.
Woof.
With-
Woof, woof.
Pork,
so,
pork.
what do we want to read next? 451308J or 4886? Because those are the three that I have on cue for what we've discussed.
So if we should really do the long one first while we have plenty of time in the room.
So 4886, and then we move on to funny stuff.
And then we move back to funny stuff because, I mean, I've got like 2 funnies on hand myself. And you've got a funny on hand. So we got like 3 funnies after this long one. Let's do the long one and then bring on the funny. Also, in the YouTube chat, Lady Fairy J says, "Hi, Katie, love your onesie." And also had to play Janet on their Virgin night and then stayed on cast for a little while. An ugly weirdo, I am a madman. That is a fact.
It's true.
Do
Can
you see what's
attest.
happening?
Have known him for a long time. Can confirm.
I played Rocky and I played Trixie. They've tried to get me to do hard no.
See, we just over here do Princess Bride and Steven Universe and Buffy.
We do Spaceballs and Lebowski. I want to do
Princess Bride is fun, except I kill people with my drinking game. So I'm Buttercup. I'm Buttercup and I'm extra. I have every one of her costumes. And so the rule is drink when Buttercup changes clothes and finish your drink if she changes clothes on stage. There is one point where I change on stage twice within a minute.
Yeah, what do you mean accept? That sounds like fun.
It is very fun. Oh, I love Vampire.
Halloween is fun because I get to steal everybody's White Claw that they try to bring in. They're not allowed to bring that in, and so it becomes mine if they try to get it in.
Nice.
Is that why a lot of federal employees that check for buildings have a collection of knives? It's because whenever someone brings in a metal multi-tool or knife, they get it. They don't get it back. That's just the bouncer.
They get it back if they find it and ask for it. We're not allowed to just steal it. We can offer to keep it. Back for it, it's not our fault.
Fair enough.
I've gotten mace that way. Really pretty mace, too. I didn't realize what it was. Had to really examine it.
But not too close.
I also love Vampire. Vampire's a lot of fun. I did a Vampire LARP last year. That was baller.
All right.
All right.
So,
I'm going to go to Blackout Club now and chase some voices and gods.
You go do your thing.
So,
thank you for joining
see
us.
y'all.
for
Have a
that,
good
Sarah.
night. Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm here for at least another hour and a half because I promised my 5 to 10, and you'll get my 5 to 10.
He is a man of his word and a word of his man.
I've got about 10 or 15 minutes till call. I have to walk a block or so.
Well, 4886's expedition logs have a lot of talking people.
Let's get in. Let's do a bunch of funny voices.
Yes!
I've already warmed up my cack. I'm ready.
Just put on your Dr. Spanko voice for one of them, just at random. So do you want to read the document itself, or do you want to defer that to someone else?
I'm loaded up on caffeine. I'm ready for this malarkey. Let's do it.
All right, I'll be on standby for the incident logs. It gives us a character list, and I'm gonna pick 2.
Yeah, when we get to the incident logs, we'll sort. All right. Starting at the top. From M. Roberts Ford Skipnet. Agent Macy Roberts. Classification level NX56486. Oh my god, this is already annoying me. Employee number 447. 2. Director Sean Stevens. Classification level XF-4. Employee number 1048. That's that bear that's made of ears. I don't like that. Anyways. Regarding SCP-4886, urgent. Date, June 21st, 1990. We have a problem. Attached, SCP-4886 at Skipnet. AR-4886 at 8198 ducts. Are these all important things for me to say? These are just the addendums. They're just listed ahead of time. No, they're not. Dang it. Thought I was going to get away with this. Incident report 4886 on Haydocs. Transfer messages. Proposed changes. SCP-4886 at Skipnet. Item number SCP-4886. Object class Euclid. Site responsible NX56. Codename Summerstone Site. Director Dr. Evelyn Havildar. Research Head Agent Jonathan Lancelot. Assigned Task Force. Task Force to, what is that Greek letter? Anybody know? Is that new? I'm going to go with new. Level 2, threat level, orange. There's a wonderful picture of NX56 with SCP-4886 visible in the background. Here is your photograph. Ooh. And so, special containment... Sweet.
That is not... Oh, wait. That is
Z. Is it hey? Z?
Oh, wait, no, it's not Z. I can't find it. It looks like it could be new, but new can be straight up proper N. Like a normal N or a V.
Well, we will roll with new then. We'll see how this goes. An exclusion zone has been established around the legal boundaries of SCP-4886. It is surrounded by a 3-meter-high chain-link fence. Nearby residents believe it to be the property of Agent Jonathan Lancelot. Assigned personnel are to act accordingly. An interior zone has been established 1 kilometer from the exclusion zone's edge, surrounded by a fortified perimeter. Personnel are restricted from entering this interior zone outside of deep cleaning operations. SCP-4886-A's population is managed by Task Force Hey-2, codename Yogi's Nightmare. Task Force 2N, I guess that's Hey. Is that Hey-2? Task Force Hey-2 is responsible for enforcing existing anti-trespassing measures, as well as neutralizing SCP-4886-A found outside of SCP-4886's interior zone, excluding human births, which are to be handled by appropriate medical personnel. Civilians attacked by SCP-4886-A are to undergo Class A amnestic treatment under the guise of trauma therapy. As per the Nexus 56 interaction protocols, the Foundation has taken over Summerstone's law enforcement and park services agencies. Civilians are aware of SCP-4886-A's existence and have been encouraged to report sightings through the appropriate channels. Standard information protocols have been implemented. And we have a screen capture from the field recording taken within the interior zone. It is kind of barren. Woo! Picture. Description. SCP-4886 is Willingami Woods, a forest surrounded by the town of Summerstone, Wales. It is a temperate rainforest with a largely endemic ecosystem that has been threatened by SCP-4886-A. SCP-4886-A is the collective designation for an animaloid entities found within SCP-4886. Physiologically, instances are diverse, though many bear superficial resemblance to members of the phylum Platyhelminthes, otherwise known as flatworms. They are aggressive and invasive, having nearly destroyed Summerstone's ecosystem prior to Foundation involvement. Instances of SCP-4886-A can impregnate animals of sufficient physiological similarity. This occurs regardless of the animal's sex. Initial surveys found that in roughly 64% of cases, subjects give birth to non-anomalous members of its species. Subjects otherwise give birth to an SCP-4886-A instance. Despite this, instances show low fertility levels, interspecies sterility, and high miscarriage rates unsuitable for its population growth. Although largely confined at the center of SCP-4886, SCP-4886-A's population will infrequently swell to and beyond its borders. Hello, Dado. Welcome to the stream.
Hello. Keep reading. I'm sorry. I just popped in. Apologies.
That's all great. I just wanted to say hi. New face. Although largely confined, yes, history. Initial containment began on July 18th, 1975, following the increased Nexus engagement efforts as part of the Delta Unseelie project. Prior to discovery, SCP-4886 has been owned by a succession of private individuals, having traditionally been willed to a protege of the previous owner. Such owners were traditionally tasked with protecting Summerstone from SCP-4886-A. At the time, SCP-4886-A was under the ownership of Jonathan Gerstein Lancelot, a 24-year-old law enforcement officer that had been willed the property 3 years prior to the late Anthony Brimlindell. Mr. Lancelot's familiarity with SCP-4886 and his proficiency in hunting SCP-4886-A proved vital to initial containment efforts, leading to his employment in an official capacity. Research into the history of SCP-4886 has proven inconclusive. SCP-4886-A appears to have been present for as long as the local population can remember. Attacks, while infrequent enough that few large-scale depopulation efforts were executed, were accepted and expected by local residents. With the assistance of Ancient Lancelot, modern containment efforts were finalized on December 21st, 1975. AAR 4886-81989 Docs. On August 6, 1989, a decision was made to form a deep cleaning excursion into 4886 with the intention of discovering and curtailing the primary source of SCP-4886-A's population. This decision was made in the wake of a string of attacks against the population of Summerstone beginning on August 1st, 1989. These attacks were notable for their complexity, often occurring in locations that SCP-4886-A had not been thought capable of entering, such as private residencies. Evidence suggested that SCP-4886-A had advanced to the point of rudimentary sapience, having demonstrated proficiency in controlled arson, lockpicking, and burglary. And by the way, this is an instance of SCP-4886-A gnawing on a bone. And it's grody. It is pretty gross. That is what we're dealing with, and we don't like it. Mobile Task Force Epsilon, codenamed Lights in the Dark, was brought in to assist HEY2 in containment efforts. The joint task force was split into 3 groups. One was responsible for finding and neutralizing SCP-4886-A's primary source, while the other 2 dealt with thinning the population. The primary team, henceforth referred as H2E1, consisted of the following characters for us to play. And so we have 5 of us, right?
There are 5 characters, 4 people. Technically, there are. I don't think Katie is going to be able to be into the 4 incident logs for call.
I can do 2. I can do 2. Also, hi Sherm, it's me, Lord Stonefish.
Hey, Lord Stonefish, nice to see you face to face.
Perfect. I was gonna pop in as Dado, and then I realized I have a cat, so I can't put something on my face to play Dado. So I'm just gonna read. I'm trapped in my bed, so I'll just read.
Well, Data would have also been really funny, and I appreciate the effort, but also the cat is how you won your way into the stream. Now everyone loves you, because that's the cat tax.
Thank you. What's the SCP we're reading?
We are on 4886.
Perfect.
And so, our character list. Here's the character list, and I'll go down the character list, and then we can make our choices. We have Agent Jonathan Lancelot, head of Task Force HEY2, experience in law enforcement and game hunting, grew up in Nexus 56. He has the home field advantage. Agent Ji Young Hae, primary tracker for Mobile Task Force Epsilon, former private investigator with experience in game hunting. Agent Dexter Norman, agent of Mobile Task Force Epsilon, former bodyguard. Agent Griffith Glines, agent of Task Force HEY2, experience in law enforcement and information security, citizen of Nexus 56. And Dr. Shator Goyle, research specialist of Mobile Task Force Epsilon, PhD in ecology, field researcher on loan from Cardiff University.
I'll take Griffith Glines. And is that okay?
Totally, yeah. First call for serve, friends. What the hell is that clown? Why is that here?
So wait, he cut out a little bit for me. What did Dado just take for characters?
Griffith Glines.
I was reading a little bit ahead. Lancelot is sassy. I want Jonathan Lancelot.
Sassy, yes. All right, that's 2. I will pick in this draft that we just created. I will be. I'll take Dr. Chatter Goyle. All right. You know what? I'm jumping ahead. I'm going to play his complete opposite, Dexter Norman. So I'm the ecology PhD and also the bodyguard.
Okay.
Duck out, guys. Have fun.
All right.
Bye, Katie.
All right. We ready?
Is someone claim Ji Young?
I'll do Ji Young as well.
Nice.
All right. So that leaves me with just Lancelot.
All right. So you better give us twice the sass.
Yes, I can also do the descriptions of what's occurring to make up for the fact that you guys are rolling with 2 people, so you don't have to worry about it as much.
Nice. All right, you will exposit.
Okay.
Yes. The following logs have been excerpted for the sake of brevity. Expedition log 48864-8.1989.H2E1.1. Begin log 1.1. The log opens with a view of the eastern SCP-4886 checkpoint from the point of view from Agent Lancelot's helmet's onboard camera. This is Agent Lancelot, Task Force Hay 2, here with the lovely Mobile Task Force Epsilon. Can we get a roll call? The view pans across the members of H2E1, all of whom are double-checking equipment. Of note, Agent Glines is having difficulty with his boots.
Hey, G. Young, Mobile Task Force Epsilon. Griffith Glines, he too.
Agent Norman, Epsilon. Dr. Goyle, Richard from Mobile Task Force Epsilon.
Good, good.
Bill calls new.
New faces, Griff. The camera moves back to examining the checkpoint. Post-mission analysis reveals that an avian instance of 4886A is briefly visible in the low foliage, which Lancelot ignores. It's a beautiful overcast day in Willingami Woods, SCP-4886. Team 2 and 3 have moved in, hopefully drawing the Dash's attention away from us for the time being. Team 1's ready to go in, scope things out. We got enough supplies to do that for a week, and enough tape to record 3 days off that week. Whenever you're ready. Lancelot waits for an affirmative from the other 4, approximately 45 seconds. Glines is the last to affirm. The team moves in shortly after. End log 1.1. Begin log 1.2. H2E1 continues through SCP-4886, led by Hay, with Norman guarding the flank. Lancelot keeps watch around the sides of the team, although his gaze occasionally turns to Hay. Just checking back in, teams proceeding inward. Everything's looking good.
Is this normal for him? The radio voice?
Glines replies, though his response is indistinct. It pays to be a little lighthearted. All this is a very stressful job. And that's before...
Show spotted.
Norman is heard firing at an off-screen target, startling the other members of H2E1. Lancelot immediately turns to Norman, whose rifle is trained on the corpse of a deer. The deer's ventral torso has been ruptured. As Lancelot comes closer, a cervine instance of SCP-4886A can be seen devouring its mother's viscera.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Dr. Goyle comes into the camera view, crouching down to examine the instance.
Don't touch that. Just please don't tell me.
Sorry. Just relax.
Removing his backpack, Dr. Goyle retrieves a field forensics kit and begins examining the deer's corpse. The camera shifts focus to Hay, who is retching, and then Glines, who alternates between staring at the deer and looking away, before settling back on Dr. Goyle. End log 1.2.
Oh,
Analysis of SCP-4886A-288. SCP-4886A TAC-288 was a fetal instance of 4886 TAC-A, hosted by a female specimen of Capreolus capreolus, or European roe deer. A288's physiology was unsuited for life outside the womb, lacking in effective means of locomotion. 288 would have been forced to crawl on its belly, exposing it to dirt-borne pathogens and frictional burn. In place of eyes were eye spots, which would have provided insufficient sensory input to properly respond to predators. Despite this, A288 possessed a fully functional digestive system, though one typically suited for the digestion of meat. In addition to A288, A288's mother was carrying a non-anomalous stillborn fawn. Begin log 1.3. H2E1 had proceeded further into SCP-4886 with little interruption.
Damn it. Won't come off.
The blood's not fun to wash out. Still, it's better than letting it live.
Norman drags the sole of his boot against a nearby rock.
Yeah, Christ. Epsilon's seen some shit, but I don't know how to... I don't deal with that every day. I don't know how you and Jack manage.
Really, I think I'm just used to it. Live here long enough and you pretty much have to. The camera once more turns to face Hay, who is looking back to Lancelot. Hay blinks before quickly turning away. Glines clears his throat.
Right. So, before we hit the IZ, anything in particular we want to be looking for?
Hay turns back to face Lancelot, then Glines.
You know what? I think it's just...
If I may, most of the attacks, the ones I've seen, that requires opposable thumbs. Usually that means it's a primate. Now, Wales has exactly 2 primates, and both are bipeds. That narrows the kinds of tracks down. Given that no one's died from seeing something, that leaves humans. If they're anything like us, they're smart enough to use tools.
I don't quite like that implication.
I mean, given the attacks, I don't know what else could do this.
Not that. The human part. That means they have humans.
Or something else. End log 1.3. Begin log 1.4. H2E1 have approached the interior zone's eastern checkpoint, approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes into the mission. Little of interest has occurred since log 1.3, and H2E1 perform a standard check-in and pass through the checkpoint without incident. 6 minutes pass without incident. At approximately 1 minute 16 seconds into the footage, it's 1 hour 16 minutes into the footage, Lancelot's camera briefly picks up an instance of 4886A, hereby designated A289, hiding in a nearby bush. Neither Lancelot nor any other member of H2E1 acknowledge it at this time. At 1:19, while H2E1 deliberates on where to head next, Lancelot calls the team's attention to a nearby stream, where A289 can be seen walking through the shallows. Hay and Norman fire towards it, injuring it but not killing it, causing the instance to retreat further down the stream. The rest of the footage consists of H2E1 chasing A289. At the 2-hour mark, Lancelot's camera beeps thrice to indicate that all available space has been filled, and the tape ends. End log 1.4. And now we have the second stage of the log. Begin expedition log 48868 1989 H2E1 TAC 2. Begin log 2.1. Footage opens with H2E1 surrounding a deceased instance of A289, now clearly visible to the camera. A289 is a stark white humanoid and would have stood approximately 1.3 meters tall. Aside from 2 eye spots and a partially extended pharynx, A289's face is featureless. We okay? This is H2E1 back on tape, and it is a wonderful overcast day.
Not the word I'd use.
The view turns to Dr. Goyle and Glines, currently examining the corpse of A289. With Glines' assistance, Dr. Goyle performs a rudimentary dissection, occasionally breaking to record observations in his field notes.
So, recap.
The view quickly shifts to Hay.
H2E1 neutralized the shows. Over the course of an hour or so, we pursued it further in, shot it a few times. Eventually it bled out, and now we're here. Anything I'm missing?
Don't worry about it, G. Young. Hunting's half the fun in He 2.
What's the other half?
The hero treatment's not half bad. And Lancelot turns back to face Glines, currently holding A289's corpse in place. Glines looks back at Lancelot, furrowing his brow in apparent contemplation before returning a slight, tilted nod.
I mean, I guess what we can get beats being a cop. Huh. Sounds like you two have it pretty good.
Glines mumbles something under his breath. Post-incident analysis was unable to discern Glines' exact words, other than a reference to Jack.
Jack.
Really, I couldn't have done it without Subberstone's support. It's an honor serving this beautiful town. The attention's just the cherry on top.
Hold for one moment, please. It should be noted that we actually, when the Dado profile has the clown picture, it disappears from the YouTube screen.
Oh,
when
no.
So that means that you're not being heard when you are having that face up.
Oh, darn. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll just leave. You guys can finish the thing. I just wanted to briefly pop in, say hi. So
If that's
sorry
what you're
about
feeling
that.
up to, we can keep playing at it. You are here when you are face camming. It only goes
Good.
away when you put the clown up.
Oh no. So every time I go back to the article to try to read it, the clown comes up?
Oh, because you're using it, you're reading off your phone.
Yes.
Bingo. So yes, that is the problem then.
Oh, yeah, this isn't going to work. Sorry, you guys will have to read Glines and Hay. I'm so sorry.
I get to be Glines and Hay and Lancelot. Let's do
I'm so
this.
sorry.
That's all right, dude. Hey, thank you for coming to the stream. I'm glad to see you anyways.
Very welcome. Love you, Sherm. You're an awesome dude. Miss you, buddy.
So are you. Good to be around a little more. Good to see you guys.
All right. Thank you. Sorry about this.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, are you ready to rock?
Let's ready to rock.
So Glines and Hay are who I need.
Yep, I am essentially Norman and Goyle. Do you want me to take one of those two?
I
Or do you want me to claim
Glines.
the...
I'm not. Take Hay from me.
All right, cool. I will take Hay.
So I'll do
Where were
Glines and
we?
Lancelot. For the next 10 minutes, Dr. Goyle continues examining A289's corpse. At approximately 2:11, he closes his notebook and stands up.
Well, that was enlightening. Shall we be off? Right.
Good. Northwest west's looking good. Let's see where the wind blows. Lancelot kicks 289's corpse and H2E1 continues. End log 2.1. Analysis of A289. A289 was a bipedal humanoid of unclear intelligence. It stood approximately 129 centimeters tall and appeared pale and hairless. A289 did not display the aggression typical of 4886A. While most likely a logical reaction to the presence of multiple persons, such behavior suggests sentience, and further suggests that instances of 4886A vary in intelligence. Furthermore, A289's gait was remarkably human from what little I observed, as were its evasive tactics. In conjunction with the evasive tactics observed in its retreat, this suggests a human origin. Begin log 2.2. H2E1, headed by Agent Lancelot, continue through the interior zone at a steady pace, occasionally checking in with E2 and E3. At approximately 2:31, H2E1 encounters what appears to be an unpaved foot trail.
Do we follow? I see no reason not to. Jack?
Does a bear shit in the woods? Lancelot heads west down the path, while H2E1 follows behind. Audio picks up Lancelot softly whistling the Lincolnshire Poacher. H2E1 continues for approximately 2 minutes before Glines stops and audibly groans. Ah, shit! We were supposed to mark the trees. I think we're good. Maybe us, but what about Epsilon? What if you need to send more people? I don't know if muscle memory suffices, Lancelot. Seriously, man, don't worry about it. I know this place inside and outside. Hey, think of it this way. If I die, all you gotta do is walk a straight line until...
Show spotted!
Norman is heard firing at an off-screen target, visibly startling Glines and eliciting shock from the rest of H2E1. Lancelot turns back to Norman, who is looking at a point further down the trail.
Correction. That's...
Norman trails off as Lancelot approaches. The camera focuses on Norman's rifle, then shifts to where Norman had been pointing his rifle. A few meters behind the tree line is the cadaver of a nude European male in the early stages of decomposition, hanging upside down by a wired snare, 3 meters in the air. Norman appears to have shot the cadaver through its distended midsection. As Lancelot approaches, signs of significant mutilation became clearer. The cadaver's toes, fingertips, and testicles have been amputated, and an indistinct mark has been crudely branded into its flank.
I don't like this forest.
It's charming on its better days, I'll give it that. Lancelot kneels down to examine a pile beneath the corpse, briefly whistling as he does. Its contents consist primarily of crude fetish objects mixed with fresh carrion. Sighing, Lancelot stands back up. I do so love my job. Continue. End log 2.2. Begin log 2.3. H2E1 has continued down the western path for approximately an hour, once more headed by Lancelot.
Hold one moment. I am going to pause this for just a moment because we just got 2 rapid fire donations, bringing us to a total current of $585.
Oh, I do love my job.
Oh man, that's good news. Look at that. And that's plus the $10 that I've gotten in super chat. So we're at $595. We're at almost $600 right now, guys.
One of the
Would you look at
donations
that?
we got was $100 anonymous direct. Wow.
Yeehaw! Go people!
Or
Fantastic.
We're
Lovely.
getting
Thank
there.
you guys so much. Lordy. All right. Let us continue on. Where were we? Ah, yes. Hey. 4886 can't be that big, can it?
I wouldn't doubt it. All the Deathies once have to be haunted by something. I mean, hasn't Epsilon had its share?
Wilderness, yes. Not necessarily this. Yeah, tell me about it. Props to you and Jack. I don't think I'll be able to eat for another week at this rate.
Sure you're not in the mood for flatworm stew? Summerstone specialty.
I think I'll pass. You can take me to...
Branches rustle from behind the group as something can be heard dropping from above. Jesus, fuck! Lancelot turns back to Glines, who is struggling with an instance of A289 clinging to his neck. As Glines struggles to free himself, several more instances of A289 emerge from the tree line, bearing primitive weaponry and engage H2E1 in combat. Footage of the fight is predictably indistinct. Careful analysis of the available footage suggests the force of A289 have adapted a divide and conquer strategy, primarily targeting Agents Glines while attempting to distract the remaining members of H2E1. They eventually fend the A289 off, bearing relatively minor injuries. All 5 are silently attempting to recuperate when Glines suddenly yells in apparent frustration. That's the 6th time this month! It's not so. I swear to God they've been teaming up on me. I am done with this. Glines breaks from the group to head in the direction several A289 fled towards. You know, we really should. Are you gonna take us nowhere like you always do, Lancelot? You know, maybe we want to trail them. Maybe want to find where they live or breed and put a stop to that.
We should settle down.
And let them flee? Excuse me, but what's our mission here? This is a lead, more than just a foot trail. It's somewhere they fled to where they feel they can gain something by going. For fuck's sake, I don't know about you, but I've been put through this song and dance so many times, and not once did we follow them. Jack, look what that's got us now. Glines turns back to continue. Norman sighs, then tentatively follows. He is followed by Hay and Dr. Goyle. Lancelot pauses. Oh, bother. As Lancelot trails the rest of H2E1, his camera beeps thrice to indicate that all available space has been filled, and the tape ends. And now log 3. Begin log 3. Footage resumes with Agent Lancelot squatting down to examine the corpse of an A289 instance. Cause of death is a gunshot to the head. The remaining members of H2E1 are not visually present, but can be heard in the background.
Jack, is that thing still giving you trouble?
Just loading the camera. Should be good. Kicking the A289's corpse, Lancelot turns to face the rest of the group. H2A1 is converged around a dilapidated single-story cabin, sitting in the middle of a canopied clearing. The cabin is surrounded by a wooden fence in severe disrepair. As Lancelot approaches, the remains of patio furniture can be seen scattered around the grounds. Surrounding the clearing are several instances of 289, none of which appear willing to enter. We want to mess around here? This place looks sad. Glines, who has been examining an abandoned well, looks up at Lancelot. I don't know if we can skip this, Lancelot. Cabin means someone lives here. Lived, maybe. You're talking about a cabin in the middle of the woods not even monsters will touch. These things only got smarter in recent memory. Chances are this cabin... Ugh! God, this place smells like shit! Even sticking my nose down the well's an improvement. Yeah, be careful. Don't want you falling down and breaking your neck. Dr. Goyle is seen approaching the two.
I've collected a few samples, mostly soil, but a few from the fire pit. Given, well, my dismal combat experience, would either of you mind holding on to them in case I do not make it?
Bit of a grim way of looking at it.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Glines. Good with my fingers, my fists, not so much.
All three remain silent for several seconds before Glyne sighs, taking the aforementioned samples.
Thank you, Mr. Glines.
As Dr. Goyle leaves to continue investigating the clearing, Lancelot turns his attention to Norman, who is keeping lookout, then Hay, who is investigating a spot of soil near a chopping stump, who he approaches. Find any tracks, Puma? Hay turns back to face Lancelot, brushing her hair out of her face. She softly chuckles.
Not tracks. Look at this.
Beckoning Lancelot closer, Hay points to a patch of dirt.
Depression. Not as much foliage. Something's buried here, Jack. It's something, even if I don't know what.
Huh.
It's near enough to the stump that, well, could have been disposal. Makeshift pit. Maybe if we dig down, we'll find something.
The midgets are too stupid for that. I'm betting on worms.
Worms?
Sure looked like it. Have I told you about my dad?
A little, I think. Landscape architect. Bit eccentric.
Right, mean old son of a bitch. Knew his gardens, made sure I did too. That's worms. Maybe not flatworms, but worms.
Worm.
Round ones. Hay nods, then returns to examining the soil. Lancelot remains where he is for several seconds before turning to approach Norman. See anything, Norm?
It's Norman.
It just sounds too formal.
It's my name, Agent.
Still a bit too formal. Can I call you Dexter? Just Dex. Norman turns away from the tree line. His brow is furrowed.
Awful friendly, Agent.
It's been 5 years on the beat and 13 on the hunt, and you make do with what you got. Norman stays silent for several seconds, briefly glancing up at Lancelot's helmet-mounted camera before sighing.
I'd really prefer Norman, Agent. At least until we're better acquainted.
Both remain
Sorry.
silent for several seconds. Norman scratches his head.
Sorry.
Nah, it's all right. I can treat you to... Lancelot is cut off by a loud scream from behind, prompting Norman to draw his weapon. Glancing back, Lancelot spots the cabin, its door broken inwards, and rushes over to investigate. Lancelot arrives just before Hay, with Norman covering from afar. Drawing his rifle, Lancelot enters the cabin interior. The interior of the cabin is comparably dilapidated to its exterior. Its walls are caked in mold, and the cabin as a whole is infested with gnats. The floor is covered in a mixture of grime, wood chips, hair, and dead insects. Furniture is limited to a wooden dresser, a legless bed upon which rests a thoroughly stained mattress, an unlit fireplace stove, and a table upon which a putrefied human corpse wearing a polka dot dress lies. Agent Glyne stands in the middle of the cabin, staring at the corpse with his sidearm drawn. Oh, Griffith? Are you? Shut up. Both remain silent for several seconds. Glines continues staring at the body, occasionally swatting at stray insects on his skin.
Everything all right?
Glines blinks twice, looking at between Lancelot and the body in quick succession. Lancelot takes a step back. She was wearing... This was her favorite dress, and you know her? I mean... mean Tegan date. She called me and Glines pauses, blinks twice, and grins. Holy shit. Lancelot takes another step back as Glines bursts into a fit of laughter, lasting for several seconds. Turning back to Lancelot, he opens his mouth, only to fall into another laughing fit, prompting Lancelot to take yet another step back. Glines' laughter is interspersed with coughs, eventually degenerating into a pained wheeze, during which Glines leans against a wall for support. As Glines goes silent, he looks up at Lancelot, still grinning. Son of a bitch, Jack. Glines raises his firearm and fires at Lancelot, striking his helmet. Lancelot's camera is destroyed. End. Log 3.
What a twist!
And there is, in fact, a log 4. Following the destruction of Agent Lancelot's camera, H2E1 was left without a reliable recording method. The following log is a synopsis of the surviving members' testimonies. As a result of Agent Glines' unprovoked assault, Agent Lancelot is forced to neutralize him in self-defense. Agent Hay and Norman enter the cabin almost immediately upon hearing the gunfire. The sight of Glines' death soon provokes a brief argument before Agent Lancelot explains the situation. From there, the team discusses their next steps. While this has been happening, Dr. Goyle has been outside keeping watch on the A289 instances around the clearing perimeter. According to testimony, Dr. Goyle was unwilling to engage within the events within the cabin, owing to his lack of sufficient training. Furthermore, he had been fascinated by the behavior of the A289 and their steadfast refusal to enter the clearing. Dr. Goyle makes several more observations in his notebook, in particular that SCP 4886A289 respond with greater negativity to English speech in comparison to Hindi and Punjabi. The remaining members of H2E1 soon emerge from the cabin, reconvening with Dr. Goyle. A decision is made. H2E1 will brief command on its situation and wait for further instructions. In light of both the loss and inexplicable actions of Agent Glines, H2E1 is ordered to retreat on the basis of possible memetic contamination, as are the secondary teams. Retreat is uneventful, apart from the neutralization of 4886A instances encountered en route to the checkpoint. Upon return, operatives are isolated, detained, and screened for memetics. Upon the confirmation of healthy memoplexes across the board, all operatives are released. Following the operation, sightings and attacks decreased significantly. Despite this, the source of SCP-4886-A's population surges remain unknown. Several theories have been put forth. SCP-4886-A-293, a massive immobile boviform encountered and subsequently neutralized by H2E2, which had been responsible for the mass birth of 4886-A. A291 appears to have hosted several instances of 4886A within its body, although the nature of its neutralization prevented a thorough examination of its physiology. 4886A's population was larger than estimated, enabling it to reach a critical mass and favorable for further growth. Foundation has overlooked an integral component of the 4886 anomaly, and Agent Glines assisted in the spread of 4886A, knowingly or unknowingly. And then there's another incident report.
One more
Do you want to take back over?
Let's knock it out. All right. Incident report 4886 on Hay Docks. Following the events of August 11, 1989, Mobile Task Force Epsilon was temporarily stationed in Nexus 56 in the interest of budget. Mobile Task Force Epsilon would remain in Nexus 56 until August 15, 1989, when Foundation Overwatch deployed it in response to sightings of URA-173. On the 1st of January 1989, Agent Hay registered an anomalous pregnancy with the Site-42 Medical Center. Agent Hay reported a lack of sexual activity or contact with male reproductive systems, nor sufficient interaction with natal anomalies to warrant contamination. Regardless, preliminary tests proved inconclusive. Following standard questioning procedures, Agent Hay was considered eligible for Berlin program enrollment. Agent Hay was reassigned to a low-stress position and periodically administered prenatal physicals as standard. No fetal anomalies were detected during this time, though it was determined that Agent Hay was carrying twins. Agent Hay went to labor on the 5th of Yeah, the 5th of August, right? August 5th. No, that's the 8th of August. No, that's the 8th of May.
Yeah, it's gone to British. Damn the Brits.
Yeah. Yeah, it's August. It's not August 5th, which is American. It's May the 8th. On May 8th, 1990, delivering on May 9th, 1990, at 0600 hours 15 minutes and 0600 hours 19 minutes. The attending obstetrician logged the following. Delivery log. Person identification number P8DB84. Date delivered 5th of May 1990. Stay delivery live. Weight 3.18 kilograms. Head circumference 34 centimeters. Length 48 centimeters. APGAR scores 11212. Race East Asian. Eyes blue. Mother Ji Young Hae. Employee number 4952. Author unknown. Father unknown. Anomalous inconclusive. Additional notes. Following the birth of P8B85, P8B84 has been classified as URA 4886. Delivery log. Personnel identification number P8B85. Date delivered. Same date, 4 minutes later. State of delivery, indeterminate. Weight, 4.6 kilograms. Total, see additional notes. Head circumference, indeterminate. Length, indeterminate. APGAR scores, not applicable, 0, not applicable, 2, 0. Race, see additional notes. Eyes, determinate. Mother, Jiyoung Hae, employee number 4952. Father, unknown. Anomalous, yes. Additional notes. Initially appearing to be a non-anomalous stillbirth, P8B85 shed its skin shortly after delivery. P8B85 resembles a partially fused mass of various forms and has been classified as SCP-4886-A-294. To the Foundation's knowledge, Agent K lacked a history of contact with SCP-4886-A sufficient to induce pregnancy. However, Agent K was in no condition to be interrogated further at the time. RISA then therefore initiated a covert investigation into the events following Mobile Task Force Epsilon's arrival at Nexus 56. Initially, the investigation returned little. Several security logs relating to Agent Hay were missing from the archive. RISA auditors noted, however, several inconsistencies in the timeframes and durations of lost logs. Metadata analysis further indicated several logs surrounding the missing sections had been submitted to SkipNet a day or more after they had been taken. In light of this, RISA theorized that the events surrounding Agent Hay's pregnancy had been deliberately obfuscated by a hostile actor with access to Foundation resources. Agent Hay's records indicated that she had not been anesthetized for years prior. However, hair and body fat tests indicated presence of AMN A0134, a Class A amnestic compound commonly employed by authorized members of the Nexus 56 containment team. With this in mind, RISA auditors re-examined the available footage to determine activities of personnel authorized for AMN A0134 usage between August 11, 1989 and August 15, 1989. Upon further review, all such personnel were accounted for with the exception of Agent Lancelot. Redacted pending declassification of Incident 4886-AO. Transfer messages. Memorandum on Mr. Lancelot and the SCP-4886 project. Following the events of Incidents 4886-AN-HAY and 4886-AO, both the Nexus 56 and SCP-4886 projects have been transferred into the custody of GBWLTB Site-42. Furthermore, I would like to personally apologize on behalf of the SCP-4886 containment team. Mr. Lancelot had been instrumental in the establishment of SCP-4886's containment as an agent, containment specialist, and consultant. If not for his work, Summerstone's ecosystem may have been permanently destroyed. The SCP-4886 containment team naturally afforded him an unprecedented level of freedom. The Nexus 56 site management had been aware of reported problematic behavior from Mr. Lancelot and, to an extent, other members of Task Force Hay-2, and elected to deal with such matters privately. It was not, however, aware of the full extent of Mr. Lance's repugnant actions as revealed during Incident 4886-AO. For such grave oversight, I am thoroughly ashamed. Sincerely, Dr. Evelyn Havildar. Proposed changes. Item number SCP-4886, Object Class Keter. Site responsible, GBWLTB Site-42, Director Dr. C.N. Stevens, Research Head Agent Zachary Redmond, Assigned Task Force, not Mobile Task Force, Permanent Task Force. Permanent Task Force? Permanent Task Force, we'll go with that. Whatever that Greek
Provisional
letter
task
is.
force.
Ooh, I like provisional. Level 0, threat level, red. See video log. Special containment procedures. SCP-4886 is uncontained. Personnel formerly allocated to the management of Nexus 56-EX are tasked with escalating disinformation campaigns in order to remove SCP-4886-A from the collective knowledge of Summerstone. To this end, SCP-4886-EX has been acquired by Allen Snitches, a Foundation front company. Deforestation efforts are underway, both to recoup financial losses and assist in disinformation. Provisional Task Force G, codenamed Red Dragon, has been tasked with the capture of SCP-4886. Provisional Task Force G consists primarily of asexual celibate personnel with experience in forensics, tracking, and criminal profiling. Reports of platythelmin's adjacent entities are to be immediately investigated by Provisional Task Force G, with priority given to sightings in Northern Europe and the Anglosphere. Once captured, SCP-4886 is to be contained in a Type A humanoid containment cell in Site-17 for ease of identification. SCP-4886 is to be fitted with its former disguise, which has been surgically castrated and tattooed with identifying symbols. SCP-4886 is considered in breach of containment as long as it remains outside this disguise. Instances of SCP-4886-A are to be neutralized as soon as possible. Development of sectric equipment capable of identifying SCP-4886-A prior to birth is underway. Description: SCP-4886 is an entity that previously identified itself as Jonathan Gerstein Lancelot. Its current whereabouts are unknown. The following is known about SCP-4886. SCP-4886 is sapient, fluent in English, Welsh, and Finnish. SCP-4886 was capable of impersonating a human through unknown means. SCP-4886 is aware of the Foundation's existence and, to an extent, its operating structure. Over the span of 15 years, SCP-4886 displayed proficiency in hunting, tracking, firearm usage, and amnestic administration. SCP-4886 is verifiably responsible for the death or disappearance of at least 5 Foundation personnel. SCP-4886 is capable of impregnating humans. The following is suspected of SCP-4886. SCP-4886 may have been directly responsible for the death or disappearance of 70-plus persons over the span of the last 20 years, many of which have been falsely attributed to SCP-4886-A. SCP-4886-A may be capable of impregnating all animals with which it can copulate, regardless of sex. SCP-4886 may have been the primary source of SCP-4886-A, cultivating its population and spread. SCP-4886 may be capable of creating a new disguise in the absence of its previous one. SCP-4886-A are a series of highly aggressive animaloid entities thought to have been a product of SCP-4886-EX. Following incidents 4886-AO, the Foundation has been forced to reevaluate their nature. Incident 4886-AO. Access granted. Need a stretch. This is a long one. Kaiman, this is 4886. It is long. We're at the very last addendum, I believe. We're almost there.
Yes.
Following a thorough RISA audit, it was determined that Agent Lancelot was actively involved in the spread of SCP-4886-A. RISA was unable, however, to determine the nature of his involvement. A Provisional Task Force, Provisional Task Force G, the Manhunters, was assembled and subsequently tasked with monitoring Agent Lancelot's movements, initiating capture upon the confirmation of anomalous activity. Additionally, Agent Lancelot's standard issue CCD was covertly replaced with an identical model fitted with a tracking chip. On June 16, 1990, at 1500 hours 31 minutes, Agent Lancelot was detected entering SCP-4886-EX. Provisional Task Force G was instructed to follow and report back by radio upon the mission conclusion. At 1800 hours 22 minutes, Agent Lancelot's position was registered within the clearing recorded by Expedition Log 4886/8.1989.H2E1.3. It did not move hereafter. It did not move thereafter. By June 19th, 1990, Provisional Task Force G had yet to report back. Several security officers were subsequently dispatched to assess the situation. At 1300 hours 9 minutes, officers arrived at the clearing to find it deserted. Attempts to locate the tracking chip led the officers to the cabin. Along with the tracking device, officers discovered the following: 1 blowtorch, 1 backpack, empty, a book of Sudoku puzzles, fully completed, a book of logic puzzles, partially completed, a book of crossword puzzles, partially completed and heavily damaged. 3 used pencils, 1 broken pencil, and a sharpener. 2 sets of pliers, 1 carving knife and whetstone, preserved deer hide stitched into the approximate form of a deer. 3 half-completed wooden carvings of an unknown humanoid figure. 1 partially mutilated cadaver, later identified as suspected runaway Judas Grayson. 3 canisters of photographic film, data expunged. Spare pieces of magnetic tape. Scissors. 4 sets of standard issue task force equipment and clothing, neatly folded. Agent Lancelot's clothes, neatly folded. Agent Lancelot's preserved skin, neatly folded. A single videotape designated Video Log 4886-AO. Video Log 4886-AO. Date, June 16th, 1990. Video Log 4886-AO appears to have been heavily altered at some point prior to acquisition. Audio is absent. Footage has been shot with a standard issue handheld recorder. Begin log. Footage opens with Agents Carpenter and Perec of Provisional Task Force G standing outside of SCP-4886-EX, looking directly at the camera. Carpenter and Perec appear to be discussing something with the cameraman before being called over to the checkpoint by Officer Davis. Recording is stopped. Recording continues. Camera is subsequently mounted on the cameraman's helmet. Provisional Task Force G is making its way through SCP-4886-EX via an unpaved foot trail. 5 minutes into the footage, Agent Perec turns back to say something to Agent Hills. Hills nods in response and detaches his camera. Recording is stopped. Recording resumes. Carpenter, Perec, and Davis have their weapons trained on an instance of A289 that has been grazed by a gunshot. A289 is holding its hands in the air as Agent Hills moves closer. Moisture can be seen leaking from its eye spots. Agent Perec steps closer and says something to the instance. It shudders in response, but stays put. A brief discussion is had between Provisional Task Force G, during which time the camera zooms in upon the instance. It appears to notice this, turning to face Agent Hills as it exudes and retracts its pharynx. As Hills zooms out and remounts his camera, his fellow agents attempt active communication with A289. Communication is primarily nonverbal. However, the instance appears to understand certain words. Occasionally it will stomp. Either once or twice, this is presumed to be a rudimentary system of yes-no. A289 walks off before beckoning Provisional Task Force G to follow. After a short round of deliberation, Provisional Task Force G readies their weapons and cautiously advances. A289 stops inside a small clearing where 2 putrefying bodies can be seen hung from a branch. Hills quickly unmounts his camera. Recording is stopped. Recording resumes. Agent Hills has mounted the camera on a tripod in the middle of the clearing and speaks to the viewer. A minute in, Hills interrupts himself to briefly retch before continuing. 3 more minutes pass. As Hills finishes, he moves to stop the recording, only to be interrupted by Officer Davis. Davis motions towards the ground and gives an unknown command. The camera is unmounted and directed at a pile of assorted debris beneath one of the bodies. A289 crouches down beside it. 20 seconds pass without incident before 2 sticks of gun toss onto the pile. A289 promptly stands up and resumes guiding at Provisional Task Force G. Recording stopped. Recording resumes. Agent Hill's camera is stationed just outside of the large clearing from Exhibition Log 4886.1989.H2E1.3. Sitting on a central stamp is Agent Lancelot, who appears to be self-administering a suture on the underside of his right arm. Approximately 12 minutes pass before Agent Lancelot is interrupted by 5 instances of A289 dragging along a bound humanoid. Lancelot does not acknowledge them until 3 more minutes pass, after which he stands up, nods, grabs the humanoid bindings, and drags it into the cabin. 2 minutes pass. As the camera is hastily remounted to Hill's helmet, Provisional Task Force advances towards the cabin, positioning themselves in preparation for a possible raid. 10 seconds pass. The door of the cabin is kicked down, and Provisional Task Force G enters the cabin, weapons at the ready. The interior remains in a similar state of disrepair that observed on August 11, 1989, albeit slightly more decorated. The dresser is shaking, although a padlock prevents it from opening. Agent Lancelot's clothes and skin lay strewn across the floor. Crouching in the middle of the cabin is a pale, indistinct figure. The entity is obscured by the dim lighting of the cabin. However, it appears to be at least 4 meters tall and of relatively large build. Facing away from the camera, it does not visibly respond to the raid. 16 seconds pass. Agent Carpenter fires at the entity, leaving a small bloodless wound in his back. The entity slowly turns to face Provisional Task Force G. Recording is stopped. End log. Oh my freaking god.
Spooky.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
The true fear, the enemy within. That was an
Woo, we did it. That happened. That was a tiring SCP. That was rough. There was a lot to that. It was wordy. That's a wordy bitch.
That was
Do we have
almost
any
an
thoughts
hour
on
in
this
itself.
SCP?
I'd say the biggest fear on this thing is the enemy within kind of concept, that all of this misinformation fed to them, they misclassified a whole SCP only to have it change to this new thing that they have very little information about compared to the other one.
I have a question. Do you think that Agent Lancelot was really handed down this property by his father? Do you think this was literally a father handing it down to him and they're both creatures? Or do you think it's the same creature with a new skin suit? And it's been the same creature the whole time?
The father
That's
was
what I
probably
think
the
as
creature
well.
with his The father was probably a creature with the skin suit, and he took someone else who was younger looking that could access the Foundation and just called himself the father's son.
My thoughts exactly. Now, my throat is starting to get tight because I've been doing this all day, and I can feel that happening. So I'm going to start getting shyer about reading, which means that I'm pinning the next ones on you guys.
Fun stuff.
By the way, that means that it kind of answers my next question. I was going to ask is if it's okay that I keep popping in and out. I'm
In and out all day, man. You keep coming back. Hells yeah.
You're popping in and out, and there's still an empty spot. So
like a ping pong
yeah,
ball.
and by the way, guys, my schedule of guests is officially empty because Lord Stonefish / Dado was the last one. So at this point, between you guys and me, we are what I believe will be the final stand. So when you guys are out, I'm flying solo. I will fly solo, and I will not stop until this is done. I'm not asking you to stay, but I'm saying I would appreciate it the more you did.
I am promised for another half hour, on which I may take a short break, but I may be back after that.
Sweetness.
Only 3 minutes just to fix something on the
guys.
bottom
For
floor,
instance,
but
right now
I
I'm
will
going to
still
take
be
3
back.
minutes to hit the restroom because I chugged a monster before we read that hour-long SCP, and I've been suffering.
Boy, I'm gonna find a quickie.
So, should
yeah, if you got one on hand. Otherwise, 4513 was my next funny one idea. I do not need to read that one.
We could do Jeff as a quick one.
Do Jeff, because Jeff is fucking hilarious, and it has
Jeff has
conversations
one
between
other.
two people.
Yeah, it has only 2 characters in it. So SCP-008 TAC J. It's a joke SCP, and after the several sad SCPs we just went through, I think we need a little bit of a happiness buff.
You guys get started on this immediately. I'm going to run because I want to get back to this as fast as possible. I love it.
Good. I will take the role of Jeff. It is Jeff.
Take your time, man.
It's just Jeff, not Uncle Jeff.
It's just Jeff? Uncle Jeff?
I'll post the link in the Get Buckle.
I have it.
I'm calling dibs on Jeff.
All
you can
right.
be Commander Price.
Let me just open all these links.
I can read for the
Commander
overall
Price.
SCP thing.
Oh.
So I already volunteered, my boy.
I'll do it. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, wait. Never mind. I was just making
Alright,
fun of the.
So,
Go on.
item number SCP-TAC-008-TAC-J. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. All attempts to contain SCP-008-J have been met with failure for apparently unrelated reasons. However, 008-J repeatedly returns to Foundation sites, seemingly unintentionally. Description: SCP-008-J has been registered as an SCP on a probationary basis until Commander Price is able to prove that it possesses anomalous properties. 008-J is a 23-year-old Caucasian male who answers to the name Jeff, who, by a series of seemingly non-anomalous coincidences, frequently gains access into high-security areas of Foundation sites without intent or knowledge. SCP-008-J resists containment by similar means. Below is a list of 008-J sightings. In all instances, Commander Price is the first staff member to encounter 008-J. No evidence has been found to suggest that this isn't just another coincidence. Incident 008 4-1. Date blank blank longer blank. SCP-008-J was hired for his expertise as an electrician to repair the lights at Stephanie's Classy Posies. The florist which acts as a front for the blank site. Due to a minor containment breach, the shop was unstaffed when 008-J arrived. Moments later, 008-J was found aimlessly wandering the halls of the blank site's restricted corridors. Transcript.
Spread out on the south corridor and make as much noise as possible. Beta, try to get a jump on it. Knockout gas is for last resort only.
Hello,
We all
excuse
know
me.
what this thing is like when it's sleepy. What?
All right, mate.
Who the hell
I'm
are
Jeff.
you?
I'm here to fix the lights. Sorry, there was no one in the shop.
No one in the. How did you get?
What?
How'd you get back here? Card
Right,
readers between
yeah.
here and the shop.
Look, mate, I've got 5 other people to see today. Do you want me to have a look at your lights or not? Closing statement. SCP-008-J was placed in the custody of Agent Blink while the containment breach was suppressed. However, Agent Blink suffered a fatal aneurysm moments later, prompting 008-J to return to Stephanie's Classy Posses, call for an ambulance, and leave a note instructing Commander Price to contact him when he is ready to have his lights repaired. 008-2 Incident Report. Date blank blank blank. Description: SCP-008-J is seen at the blank City Foundation Carpentry Front Super Craftsmanship Protocols. After requesting to use the on-site laboratories, SCP-008-J mistook the directions given to him and made his way through a door to the site's containment facility. The electronic lock had recently been destroyed by an agent of the Chaos Insurgency, who began hacking into the Foundation's mainframe moments after 008-J's arrival. Transcript.
Power down, but this one.
Hey man,
That stolen
long
data
time
gets
no
transmitted.
see.
It's all our asses on the.
Don't you work at a florist? Looks like you're busy. Sorry, I just got lost on my way
How
to the
did-
gents.
This is a
You
top
don't make a lot of
secret
sense. Have anyone ever
military
tell you that?
installation. How
Anyway, I
how
mentioned the gents because I've kinda got to pee. Couldn't be a pal and point me in the right direction, could you? Closing statement. While personally leading SCP-008-J to a containment cell, Commander Price was confronted by the Chaos Insurgency agent, and both were taken hostage under the threat of detonating a handheld explosive. Once clear of the facility, the agent was extracted by car, leaving Commander Price to attempt to capture 008-J at gunpoint before being arrested by local authorities, allowing 008-J's escape. Incident 0083. Date blank blank blank. SCP blank began to show signs of awakening from its 2,000 years of hibernation. Because of his nautical combat experience, Commander Price is relocated to the blank site beneath the Atlantic Ocean, overlooking the fissure inlet in which SCP blank resides. The means by which SCP-008J came to be at the site are unknown. Transcript.
All right, people, it's go time. I want suppressing fire on this thing now.
Hey, I
Neptune
remember
Squadron
you.
to the surface. Then
Can you help me out? I'm a bit
Fuck!
turned around. I'm trying to get to Gray Street.
we
Well, that
fucking
explains why my
ocean.
map won't load. Jeff,
Flaming
remember?
Christ, are you?
Hey, are you on Facebook? I feel like I keep running into you. We should be friends. Closing statement. Due to the absence of holding cells on site blank, 008J was secured in an escape pod, since departure is permitted only with a passcode or ID card. However, after the site suffered a blow from SCP blank, the escape pod malfunctioned and launched from the facility, failing to collide with 17 of SCP blank's active tentacles before progressing to open waters. 008J was lost at sea and presumed dead until 2 days later when Commander Price received a Facebook friend request from 008J along with a message which read, "Sorry about the pod. I left it somewhere in Florida. Hope you get it back okay," with a smiley face.
Oh,
That's
wow.
fun.
Florida man. Hell yes. I was born and raised in Tampa.
Yeah. I'm from near Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. Night gators,
Oh,
crackheads, and snakes. Just invasive reptiles all the way around.
All right, so
Yeah.
I just remembered that something I had to
Anyway.
do before we get to the end of the night is to actually like eat something. And so I just microwaved some food during that, and I actually, you guys like killed that article. It was so good. I was so happy to hear it. And now Rua's here for a hot minute.
The face.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Welcome back, Rua. You were here at the beginning, and now you're here at the end.
Yep. Here at the beginning and the end.
You know what
Hi,
you're
what's
saying.
crack-a-lackin'? I am here, I am clear, I am ready for fear.
Blah, 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 blah.
And so that's in my opinion the greatest J on the
Okay.
site so far, Jeff. Because
I
there's
agree
so much to
completely.
explore with Jeff. Exactly.
Perfect.
No.
Eating. I got some sewing supplies right here. Why is that just universal sewing
It's
supplies?
Grandma's
I don't
fault.
know. Not my abuelita.
Yes, but I have food coming, so I'm going to be demanding. I'm going to be a dictator again. I want to hear SCP-3802.
3802. Let's see. SCP-3.
3802.
But
I believe. I'm going to double check that. I think it's SCP-3802. It's a dado skip that I wrote. It is. Yep, this is my pimp my own crap
Is
moment.
it
We're doing funny skips, and I got a skip. And it's either this
so
one
I
or the
think-
gym look.
I think Rura has Dado's problem.
wait, what's the number again?
Oh, hold on a second. So number one,
What's the number again?
3802 is the number. Number
Yeah.
2 is Rua. If you're looking at your screen, if you're switching out of the Get Vocal app, you will not be able to be heard or seen on camera. Get Vocal cannot multitask.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm at my mom's office. So I'm actually not supposed to be here because it's a pediatric office and this is supposed to be for doctors only. But let's use the company computer to look at SCPs. What's the number?
3802. I'm not sure if I want to aid and abet in this. I'm not sure what investment I should have in this.
Rora, yeah, this is not a good idea.
This is an exceedingly bad idea, but listen.
I love your enthusiasm, but I'm worried that if I don't, I'm going to have a guilty conscience if I don't recommend that you not do this. You can continue of your own volition as an individual if you want, but it is my recommendation that you don't. There's still 2 and almost 2.5 hours left in the stream. I'm sure you'll find a way. Well, it's Pacific
It's
time.
actually
midnight
12:43 for me.
It's 11:43 my hours.
Yeah, Rora messaged me at 3 a.m. and I jokingly
And I said, "You're
good
welcome."
morning. She responded. And then
And you must be lonely.
Oh, let's get to the
Anyway.
skit.
So who's doing the main thing reading?
So there are
Is there
only
like a
2 characters in this. There is a parent and an unknown voice.
With Dado, so this is going to be fun for everyone.
I'm going to eat food like a.
yeah? All right. So
I can be the parent.
you can be the parent.
So am I going to be?
Yes, it's an
Dado?
unknown voice, but I think it's Dado.
All right.
Oh, I remember this one. I read this one. It's really good.
Item number SCP-3802. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. The entire known supply of SCP-3802 is contained in a secure container at Site-42, awaiting transport to Site-81. Testing of SCP-3802 Alpha has been suspended due to the consistency of its anomalous effect. Testing of SCP-3802 Beta has been suspended due to resource concerns and pending approval before resuming. Investigation into the parapharmacologist person of interest, known as Dado, is going. Description: SCP-3802 is an anomalous low-viscosity liquid with pink coloration contained in a white plastic bottle. The bottle has been labeled hair growth by Dado in black permanent marker. SCP-3802's anomalous effect manifests in 3 fashions. Alpha: when SCP-3802 is applied to the scalp of a bald child, the large tumor rapidly glows on the subject's scalp over the course of 30 seconds to 1 minute. This to the subject. This tumor takes the shape and size of an infant hair. Lepus animates, grows fur, and separates from the subject. The separation has left no scarring in 100% of test cases. Upon dissection, it has been found that these hairs are physically identical to non-anomalous hairs, and genetically identical to their human host. SCP-3802 instances are strongly bonded with their host. They exhibit lavish affection and playfulness with their host and extreme duress when separated from them. When SCP-3802 is applied to the scalp of a bald adult, multiple large tumors rapidly glow on various parts of the subject's body over the course of 1 hour. This process is extremely painful to the subject. These tumors take the shape and size of fully grown Flemish giant rabbits, genus O. Cuniculus domesticus, and growth fur and separate from the subject. This separation completely removes the crown of the head as well as other separation points of the subject. The section and genetic testing results were identical to SCP-3802A instances. SCP-3802B instances are similarly with them, despite the fact that their host died during separation and without regard to their own cleanliness. Instances of 3802A and SCP-3802B both display anomalously rapid growth of fur, far beyond of their non-anomalous counterparts. It is unknown if this effect was intentional. Addendum: SCP-3802.1 Discovery. SCP-3802 was discovered when Foundation agents monitoring local news sites came across the headline, "You won't out of this boy's head," on the website of Minneapolis MN News affiliate CARE. Foundation agents traveled to the event was said to have occurred and found a ward full of children playing with hairs. A parent demonstrated SCP-3802 in action on his child for the agents and described a nurse giving them a phone number that led them to order the bottle of SCP-3802. All present were amnesticized and all SCP-38 instances were removed from the scene. The nurse was not found. Addendum: SCP-3802.2 Transcription of phone call. Foundation agents were able to retrieve the recording of a phone call between the parent and Dado. Begin log.
Hello, you reached Dado. What?
Hi. I was given this number by...
Good. Dado has many the number that has the products want to be
Well,
meeting.
my daughter had cancer, and...
So you want Dado to cure the cancer. I see what you are saying
No,
and
that's
all
not what
the
I'm saying.
stinkers.
I know
So
that's not possible. My daughter's already had her surgery and is going through chemo, and all of her hair has fallen out. She's being as strong as she can be, but she's only 12, and I know how kids can be to a girl who's lost her hair. Can you do it? Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Hangs up the phone. There is a clattering. Out and log. Addendum: SCP-3802.3 Related extranormal event. 1 week after the recovery of SCP-3802, multiple billboards in the Minneapolis area were anomalously altered to include advertisement for the Hair Club for Kids by Dado. The agencies in charge for the billboards were unaware of no record of communication from Dado. A.
So I read twice before. I was planning on making art of it, actually. So
Glad both of
like
us
I recognize
understand
the
that
number, but I
Dado
don't
is
remember
Russian
what it
in
is.
some way, just silly.
So spoil the surprise.
If we're going to using
I don't know what to do, but I thought
Dado has
somewhere
a
between
distinctly Southeast Asian sort of accent.
somewhere Russian.
That is the nickname for me. He does seem Russian, yeah.
Russian or Indian?
But like,
You're muted, Sherm.
In my mind, I
Sherm,
see him as
you're
Russian.
muted. I see him talking, and he's like, "I'm talking," and he screams, but we do not hear.
Okay, so catching up on things I have said so far. Oh my God, you were going to make art of my article. Well, please, I'm very pleased to hear that. I look forward to seeing that maybe someday if you figure out what you want to make of it. Also, I think I'm the only one who doesn't think that Dado is like Russian or something specifically. Are you guys familiar with homestarrunner.com? Because
Familiar with that. What is that?
it's because I'm old.
Like this. Trogdor was a man.
No.
He was a dragon
man. Or maybe he was just a dragon.
Is
So,
that what you
Homestar
imagine
Runner-
him to be?
Well, no, not that. Homestar Runner, I've got a deeper cut for you, my friend. We're not there yet. So, my friend is, who you know what Homestar Runner is. Do you remember the character Senor Card Gauge?
It's nearing noon, so I'm gonna have to dip. So bye guys, and good luck on the stream. Even though I can't play because I'm very broke. Y'all donate.
You helped. You were entertaining. You did good.
Bye for now.
And so, yeah, in this website, Homestar Runner, which is an old school internet cartoon website, like Flash cartoons. Hey, we finally got light. We finally got light on the stream. Oh, hey, yeah.
Oh, hey.
Does.
So that's the.
And
this
so,
lightens my day.
Yeah. But on the Homestar site, Senor Card Gauge spoken. Yeah, light is not making sounds.
Light, I can't.
Ow.
Sorry.
Ow.
Light. Light doesn't make
For the
sounds.
meantime,
That's
I
science.
hope
That
you
would
find
be
out what your
vibration.
microphone is doing. I hope you figured that out.
That hurt me.
Still can't hear you, Light.
Is that good?
We see
Not quite,
the
though.
lips move. You scream, but we do not hear. Nothing.
I can see that the mic is not muted, so that's good, but it's still not coming in with sound.
Have you given Get Vocal permission to access your microphone? And it's the right microphone? Ooh, and I vocal, whatever.
Yeah, it's
pronounced
it's
Get
a
Vocal.
tech company. It's a tech company. You gotta spell it wrong.
Vocal.
Yeah, for Light, who might be able to still hear us. Nope, because they're not in the room. They reset browser. That's good. I was gonna say reset browser. Yeah, but they also use a fruit, so like they don't really.
Hold on. I heard something.
Apple. Apple doesn't spell it wrong.
We did
There
it.
he is.
You did it. Also helpful.
I think helps. Microphone.
Hey.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What are you to be needing today?
Light. Hello. Nice to meet you face to face.
Dado worked
Yeah.
so great with that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I don't have a
let's
webcam, but I
go.
have Dairy Gold chocolate low-fat milk.
Yeah.
And it is a full. It is a full liter bottle, and I have another one after I finish this one.
Kaiman will agree with me that I'm drinking the most Florida man of beverages. There are no laws when
I'm
you're
drinking
abroad.
Marta, so I'm kind of jealous.
Light, you've got some questions. You've got some questions from the chat on Get Vocal.
Yeah. Old is relative. Old is relative. You're young. Everyone's young. I'm 20. I feel old compared. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, who? Oh, I thought you were talking about like my
Yes, I
keyboard
didn't tell.
for
I
some
told.
reason.
I told Light this earlier, but I'm going to
Yeah,
just say it
yeah,
out
it's
loud now.
Rora.
That part of the reason we're here is because Light was very kind to me when I started YouTubing, and when I shared my things on Tumblr, Light was like the first person was like staff to like share my things, and I was like, oh, people in the site like me. I'll make more things, and so here we fucking are.
Oh,
That's exactly what I did on Reddit.
we missed it because
I
you
feel
were
like
getting
that's just
food and
for
we
everyone.
were
But let's
doing
ignore
the
Reddit
Datto,
because
stuff.
that's not
But
the best
15
site
minutes
for
ago,
me
another
to start doing
$10
artwork
came
on.
in on GoFundMe.
I was just realizing that right now, and we're gonna flash the flag. Blah 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 blah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hella.
Yay!
Wait a minute.
So the super chat will come to the channel, and I'm
getting
going to
messed
look at the
up.
super chats
Do
at the
the
end of the
funds
night,
from
and I'm just going to
I already
donate
give
that
you a
money.
super chat. Would
Because
you
then
get
it
that
will
money?
come back from YouTube.
Nice.
Okay. I donated $5.
Perfect.
I found
Heck yeah.
I had a
Money,
Google Play
money.
gift card that I was able to use and
Man,
just
Datto,
went through my phone.
Datto
Nice.
works much better with that. It's like Datto will send you Amazon
rad.
Prime tomorrow.
Datto
No
was
need
better.
to pay. Datto do this for you. Pwn bro no. He was here. He was here.
If anyone
earlier.
can invite
He's
Datto into the chat, I
Stone-
think that would be
yeah,
great for our
Stonefish
causes.
showed up, and he had his profile as Datto, and he
Oh,
was just going to
crap.
be Datto, but it didn't work.
He had to leave because he was having issues.
I love that.
He was so here for it though, and we were all here for him being here for it.
And he was doing so great, and we could hear him, but the chat couldn't.
I like how I don't know, like I think it was Sherm who said
Okay,
you
so
don't
finishing
send
that
it
Datto
out,
story. So
like,
there's a character on this
like, where he-
Homestar Runner anime site. Not anime, cartoon site. It's Western as hell. And on this... No, not Homestar.
I don't think anyone has ever described Homestuck as an anime.
Unless
in the
we're
history of
talking about
anything.
20XX.
Homestar. That's
You
a
gotta
whole
have
different kind of
beware.
voice. Sorry, keep going.
But in there's a character named Senor Cardgage, and he is a middle-aged version of the character Strongbad, who's one of the most popular characters on the site. And Senor Cardgage talks in word salads and does old man sales commercials, and all of his like Dr. Spanko. Yeah, he's like an old man Dr. Spanko, and like his things are like, the insurance rates are gonna be very great, and many combinations, Elizabeth. And so,
yeah. So here's my problem with that. Not problem, but here's my thought about that, and I actually put this in
I
chat.
have no
don't know
idea
if
what
you
that
said
was. I
anything
saw
about it,
that, and
but
I
it's
didn't know what
very
it meant.
similar. Joe Schmo, yeah, because I don't know how. I don't remember the specific abilities of this guy. It's basically a humanoid a guy that like he full on punches a guy in the face, and the guy's just like, oh.
Oh, it's like you stabbed researcher Smalls and he didn't notice because 4955, I mean knife. It was a really fun reading.
Yeah, that one.
Amazing.
And I joined temporarily for like 3 minutes. I joined the chat. So I was like,
All right, ladies and
I
gentlemen,
wasn't just
I have an announcement. It is currently 10:01 p.m. and that means it is time for us to move to the final shift. And so what's going to happen is if you are on YouTube, this video is going to end and you are going to see a new video called Site-42 Charity Livestream Final Shift. And us in Get Vocal Chat are going to leave this room and join the room that says Site-42, either Shift 12 or Final Shift, whatever it actually says. But then we will restart the whole thing and we will finish this thing 2 hours, crazy times finishing. We have raised $595 for the San Francisco LGBT Center so far, which is way better than I actually hoped. And I was scared that we were going to raise like $10, and we did so much better than that. And see you in the
Nice
room,
work,
guys.
everyone.
See you in the final shift.
See you on the other side.
Bop.